Connor's been with us. It was an obvious call-up. Just gives us that little bit more depth to the squad.
How was everyone feeling after the other night?
Yeah, good. Obviously, like always, disappointed with the result, but I feel as though I'm repeating myself. There is a process that you have to go through. You're playing at the top table against top teams. Maybe the results are not going to go for you, but we have to believe in what we're doing. And when I look at the players on the pitch, then I believe in what we're doing.
You talked...
Hold on, we need a little translation.
Primeira questão para o Mister, se todos os jogadores estão aptos para o jogo da manhã. Resposta do Mister, sim. E depois foi também colocada a questão sobre o jogo. O Mister disse que a equipa realmente, o Connor esteve e vai estar para o jogo, que dá mais soluções para a equipa. Não está contente com o resultado, é infeliz, mas faz parte do processo que está a ser desenvolvido e talvez os resultados até agora não tenham sido tão positivos, mas ele acredita nos jogadores e este é o processo que vai consumir.
Steve, you said the other night it would be better to speak in depth with your team once you got back to Glasgow. What was the nature of those conversations? How much of a job do you have to pick the players up when things...
No, our players are good, ready to go again. There's absolutely no issue whatsoever with that. Like I said before, the players understand where we are in the process. They understand what they have to do to get results, and as far as I can see, and hopefully as far as everyone else can see, they're all on board with that.
A questão para o Mister, tendo em conta a profundidade da seleção e qual foi a natureza da conversa que teve. Não há problemas, está tudo ok, os meus jogadores estão confiantes, sabem que fazem parte do processo e é assim que vamos continuar.
Cal? Steve, you talked after Saturday's game in there about the belief that you have in the players. How challenging is it to get them to have the same belief in themselves that you have in them?
It's really simple. They do believe in themselves. They understand that we're playing difficult opponents. They understand also that the squad could be stronger. Everyone knows that. All these things are there to be seen. I don't speak about it too much because I feel it's disrespectful to the boys that are in the squad. We have to concentrate on who we have here, and we have to go out against Portugal, and we know we have to be very good at everything we do in the game, and hopefully we can get the result that might just change the whole mood about the place.
Mr. Steve Clarke afirmou que os jogadores sabem da sua valia, sabem da dificuldade que têm encontrado nos opositores. Acho que tudo tem sido visível no terreno de jogo. Se realmente nós temos que focar no que nós possuímos neste momento, as exibições têm sido boas e talvez nós consigamos obter um resultado que possa mudar o chip e trazer uma boa dinâmica para a equipa.
There's a real alchemy that goes into turning good performances into positive results. Do you feel like you're getting closer to that, and how big a role can Hampden and the crowd play in that tomorrow?
Yeah, the crowd have got a part to play. The crowd also have to believe in their team and their players, and I don't see any reason why they shouldn't believe in this group of players. We've got players who are, I think Darryl's just told me, we've got 3 players that are inside the top 10 cap appearances for their country. After 20 years in the international wilderness, this group of players have been to 2 major tournaments. They've got promotion to this top level of the Nations League. So I don't understand why people would be doubting about this group of players. It's a tough moment, there's no doubt about it, but we believe in ourselves.
A questão prende-se com a relação qualidade exibicional e resultados positivos. Resposta do Mr. Steve Clarke. Nós sabemos que temos uma boa equipa, os jogadores também sabem que o conjunto é bom. Não vejo o porquê de haver razão para tantas questões, tanto alarmismo. É preciso ter em conta que nos últimos 20 anos a Escócia finalmente consegue estar em grandes torneios. A Escócia foi promovida para esta divisão da Liga das Nações. Por isso, nós vamos continuar a possuir o mesmo tipo de jogos e nós acreditamos que será possível manter esta tendência e conseguir bons resultados.
Final broadcast questions, please.
Hi Steve, you obviously gave a very good performance away to Portugal. How much does that give you and the players' belief that you can compete with what is a very strong side back at Hampden?
Yeah, we can. We can compete. We showed that in Lisbon, and as has just been mentioned, with the backing of the home support here, hopefully we can find another level that gets us the positive result that we all want.
Questão para o Mister. Acha que consegue obter um bom resultado contra Portugal? A resposta é sim. Nós estamos convictos que podemos conseguir um bom resultado. Nós mostramos em Lisboa o que nós somos capazes de fazer e, graças também ao nosso apoio dos adeptos, penso que poderá ser possível obter um resultado positivo.
Tactically, what you did in Lisbon, how much is that the template for what you hope to do tomorrow? Because you did a good job of containing Portugal, but is there any extra emphasis on a bit more attacking when you're back on home soil?
Sometimes the quality of the opposition determine how often you get to attack. So what we have to do is make sure that we maximise the moments when we have the ball. Something that we do speak to the players about is trying to improve our ball possession when we play against the top sides. We did that against Croatia, and I think you see the results of that was a really strong performance away from home. Hopefully, we can improve the ball possession at home against a pot one team, and we get a similar performance and a much better result.
Translate this and then we'll get to Derek.
Questão para o Mister. Taticamente, conseguiu chegar ao ponto das expectativas no jogo em Lisboa? Porque talvez na defesa vi que havia uma atenção especial. Resposta. O adversário condiciona o que nós fazemos em campo. Nós tentaremos ter uma posse de bola positiva. Acho que contra a Croácia já conseguimos ter uma posse de bola diferente e também resultou numa boa exibição. Esperemos que contra Portugal conseguiremos ter o mesmo tipo de jogo, o mesmo tipo de posse de bola e que o resultado seja melhor.
Steve, after tomorrow night, you will go ahead of Jock Stein, Andy Roxburgh in terms of games in charge of Scotland. Can I ask how that will make you feel?
I didn't know. You didn't tell me that.
Told you 6 months ago.
Proud, obviously, to be mentioned in the same breath as people like Mr. Stein and Mr. Roxburgh, who still sends me the occasional email just to keep in touch. It's really good. It shows you that the players have been fantastic for us over the last 5.5 years of my reign as head coach, and I'd like to add a few more to the number, if I could.
A questão, amanhã está prestes a cumprir um número recorde de jogos à frente da seleção da Escócia. A resposta, estou orgulhoso deste feito, mostra que os jogadores têm sido excelentes durante estes últimos 5, 6 anos que eu estou aqui à frente e eu quero continuar e espero que possa continuar a obter mais números de jogos à frente desta seleção.
Only Craig Brown would have more, Steve. He would be 9 ahead of you. You would need to see out your contract to beat that tally. Is that, would that be an extra motivation for you to stay on and see it through? Is it possible for you?
I don't need any extra motivation. I want to see out my contract. I want to go to the World Cup. I believe this squad of players are good enough to go to the World Cup in America the Americas in 2026. That's all I'm focused on.
Questão parente com questões contratuais e motivacionais. Steve Clarke afirmou que não precisa de motivação extra, acredita piamente nos seus jogadores e acha que a Escócia pode qualificar-se para a próxima Copa do Mundo em 2026.
Steve, you don't have your troubles to seek with injuries at the moment, but do you have the strength and depth that you need to freshen up your starting lineup? And would you have any qualms about putting in one of the new boys, given the how formidable the opponents are, either from the start or during the game?
That's a really good question. It's very difficult to get the balance right between throwing players in to an international game when maybe they haven't felt that level. So it's a very difficult one for us. Obviously, we didn't train much yesterday. It was a recovery day for the boys who played. It was a very light training session this morning, so it was recovery. And we will assess. I'll sit with my coaches tonight and we'll see if there are areas of the team that we can freshen without putting any players under too much pressure to come into a match of this magnitude. So I have to get the balance right.
Last two.
A questão para o Mister prende-se com as lesões e se precisa de refrescar a equipa. Se tem algum plano para colocar num campo algum jogador novo? Resposta. É uma boa questão, realmente é muito complicado, tendo em conta que estamos a falar de jogos internacionais, quando alguns jogadores não pisaram neste tipo de palcos. Ontem no treino não treinamos muito, mais uma sessão de recuperação. Teremos que analisar os jogadores e veremos se poderemos ou não incluir jogadores novos para o jogo de amanhã.
Steve, a lot's understandably been written about Ben Doak because he's such an exciting prospect. I mean, is he ready to go again tomorrow night, or are you willing to play him 2 games in a row?
Physically ready, yeah, for sure. It's just whether I choose to start him or not. That'll be my choice. No, physically he's fine. Like I said, the boys are recovering, so it's recovery. The period between the games is very short. So you spend most of these 2 days just recovering. And like I said, I'll assess the squad later. We'll speak to the medics. We'll speak to the sports science guys who tell you about how much they've run and how many sprints they've made, and then we make a decision on that.
I guess age doesn't come into it. The fact he's 18 wouldn't hold you back from playing him again.
No. Definitely not. That would make me ageist.
What was the player?
Ben Doak.
Ben Doak. A pergunta era para a questão física, se Ben Doak está pronto para ir a jogo. A resposta, como eu disse, fisicamente estão prontos os meus jogadores. Estamos num processo de recuperação. Como frisei, estamos num período em que há pouco intervalo entre jogos, há essa condensação de partidas, umas entre as outras, por isso terei que falar com a equipa médica e os peritos vão dar o veredicto se estará pronto ou não para ir ao jogo.
Michael?
There's always a clamour for guys like Doak, and there was for Gold as well, Steve. I mean, as you mentioned earlier about guys like Robertson and Gordon, you've had a backbone of players that have got between 40, 50, 60, even 70 caps. How important is it that you get that balance as well between the core that you obviously trust and the new guys that can give something refreshing and new?
No, it's very important that we get that. And I think when you mentioned the players that you mentioned, Andy, for example, with 77 caps, I thought he was absolutely outstanding the other night for us. Plays like a captain, he's a leader. He's grown into that role. He's been great for his country over the years. He doesn't always get the credit he deserves, but we appreciate very much how well Andy does for us. And getting the balance between the players that are capped. Darryl gave me a number for young Billy. And Billy's one of the youngsters, but he's got something like 23 caps. 23 caps already, so we're already starting to grow the next generation of players. So as well as trying to be good now, we're also trying to leave, or I'm also trying to leave a little group of players that are ready to go and carry on. So we don't, I've mentioned it before, so we don't go 20 years after this group of players stop, that we go 20 years without the success that we all want, and we all want to be involved in the major tournaments.
A questão prende-se com a experiência da seleção nacional. Há o equilíbrio que é feito entre os jogadores. Temos a questão, por exemplo, do Andy, que é muito experiente, o Gordon também é muito experiente. Resposta do Mister. Realmente é muito importante este equilíbrio. O Andy é um exemplo, tem 77 jogos na seleção, tem sido excelente. Na minha opinião, não tenho o devido crédito que merece. Além do mais, eu desejo destacar que este equilíbrio entre jogos é visível também. O Bailey já tem, por exemplo, 23 jogos, é um jovem jogador, mas isto mostra que nós já começamos a preparar a próxima geração. Nós estamos a tentar ser eficientes desde já e também estamos a tentar que esta geração tenha um rendimento positivo para que possa responder presente nos próximos torneios internacionais.
Steve, a lot of excitement about Ben's performance. We understand that because we want good players, but is that why you've emphasised the need for just a bit of caution and a bit of care?
Yeah, I think so. You've always got the balance in that. We know Ben's a talent, but we want Ben to be a talent for the next 15 years, not for the next 15 months. So, as I always say, don't put too much pressure on him. He's a young man. He will make mistakes in the game. He will do some really good things in the game. It's to get the balance right between giving Ben the opportunity to play, which he's more than capable of taking, but making sure that we also protect him a little bit and we don't overhype sometimes. And maybe in the past there's been players that have been a little bit overhyped that don't fulfil their potential. The most important thing for Ben is that he fulfills his potential, and if we can help him to do that, that's what we'll try and do.
Mais uma vez, a questão sobre o rendimento dos jogadores e o equilíbrio. O Ben, o Mister disse que realmente não convém colocar muita pressão no Ben. É um jovem jogador. O Ben teve a oportunidade de jogar e acho que não devemos estar aqui com sobrevalorizações sobre o jogador. O mais importante é que este jovem jogador possa realmente atingir o seu potencial.
Okay, thank you all.
Good, thank you.